everyone, I'm Amanda with Sweet Pieces. And how would you like to learn how to create this gorgeous natural wood finish that we're seeing all over the place right now? We're seeing it on Pinterest and Instagram, and it's all of this furniture with this very simple, clean, natural wood finish. I'm also seeing tons of floors done like this. Personally, I never really liked this look, but now it's really starting to grow on me. So I had to figure out, how do we make this achievable with paint? Because we can't always start with a raw wood finish. So the first part of our video was me painting this headboard, which was like a mahogany. So we used Uptown Ecru, our favorite matte finish paint, Jolie matte finish paint in Uptown Ecru. We used this color to base coat this. So now we're going to go ahead and do the next layer so that you guys can achieve this look. So we have two products here. We have Glazed Effects Clear Base, and we also have Glazed Effects in Van Dyke Brown. So two of our favorite general finishes products. I'm going to pop these babies open. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a layer of the clear base. And what that's going to do is it's basically going to act as a slip coat. So it's going to make it so that my brown glaze doesn't absorb right into my paint, because I don't want it to be like totally solid. So I have done another video on how to create like more of a driftwoody type of a finish, and you could do that using the same base color, Uptown Ecru, and then putting on the Van Dyke Brown glaze, but not doing any kind of clear base first. So I'm going to show you how to do this by adding a little clear base. So I have some 2-inch chip brushes here. I'm going to dip into my clear base. And make sure you stir these products before you start. And this is a little watery, which is totally normal. And I'm just going to start laying this on here. I'm just putting it everywhere. And you want to make sure that when you're using your general finishes products, you're not shaking them. You want to make sure that you stir them. Because if you shake them, you're actually going to get bubbles in there that you don't want in your finish. So just make sure that you're stirring them, not shaking. Okay. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just haphazardly slopping this on, getting it covered with a nice clear slip coat. What's another way you could do this if you don't have the clear base? You could do the varnish, the Jolie varnish on top of this first. Got a little bristle there. You could do the Jolie varnish first and then do the Van Dyke Brown glaze. I do really like the clear base. It allows you to kind of work without having to worry. And the clear base, it does have an extended open time, which means that it's going to stay wet for a long time, which is great when you're trying to do a glaze. If you've ever worked with a glaze before, you want to be able to, go back and kind of correct some of the strokes and, even it out. So having a nice open time is important. Okay, so I have my clear base on about half of my headboard here, and I think I'll start here. So I've got it nice and spread out. I don't have any drippies. You want to make sure you don't have drips, because you are going to have to brush them out eventually. So just get like a nice coat on there. And then I'm going to switch my brush. I'm going to use another 2-inch chip brush. I'm going to dip it into my Van Dyke Brown. And I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm not going to put a ton on, because I can always add more. And I'm also going to use my favorite shop towels. So these are great for just about everything with painting. If you paint furniture, you need to have these in your arsenal. They are lint-free. They're great for cleaning. They're great for waxing. They're great for glazing. They're great for doing a color wash. It's just a really, really nice paper towel. And we do have them available at sweetpieces.com if you need them. So I have a little bit of the Van Dyke Brown on my brush, and I'm just going to start putting this on. And I'm just going all over the headboard here. And whenever I'm doing this type of a technique, I'm always using a very light hand. I'm not pushing the brush really hard. If you get a little bristle, you can always just jab it and pull it out. I'm not pushing really hard. I'm just doing a very light hand. It's almost like a feathery touch. Just very, very little. And you can see that I can just keep going back and kind of working that glaze out. Just kind of spreading it out. And then what I can do is I can take my rag, my favorite shop towel, and just kind of wipe this back until I get the effect that I want. Okay, so what I love about my chip brush, my 2-inch chip brush, is that it gives me kind of like, how can I explain this? It gives my brush strokes a kind of bristly effect. So I want it to kind of look like wood grain. Now, if I were using a more heavy-duty brush, then it wouldn't give me that kind of like see-through type of a look that I'm going for with my brush strokes. Okay, so I'm just kind of going back over this now. I'm just kind of feathering this out. I have a little bowl here because I do want to now dip into my clear glaze and mix a little bit of the brown glaze together. So I don't want to contaminate my clear base. So I'm just going to pour this in to a separate little bowl here. And now I can dip into a tiny bit of my Van Dyke Brown. And what I want to do, and I'm going to dip into a little bit of my clear base, I want to just put some more like deliberate wood grain strokes in here. And then I also see some spots up here on the top where I must not have gotten a lot of clear glaze, so my brown is sticking a little bit. So just by rubbing some clear base over that, it allows me to kind of work that out. Okay. So now I'm just going to take my brush. I'm going to dip tiny, tiny, tiny into my Van Dyke Brown. I mean, you can see my bristles here. There's like hardly anything on the brush. And I'm going to dip into my clear base. And I'm just going to very lightly go over this. And you can see here, you know, my brush strokes. And I'm just kind of rubbing those out, feathering it out. I have a very light hand here, like I said. I'm going to dip back onto my bowl where I offloaded a little bit of that brown and just come back over. I can even highlight this ornamentation here, this raised detail, ever so slightly with a little bit of the brown just to highlight that a bit. So here's what I want you to take away from this video. Clear glaze base allows you to be an artist, okay? You can really, you don't have to worry about making a mistake. So if you've seen all of these gorgeous like washed finishes and they look layered and you're not really confident in knowing how to do it, clear base is your girl. Super easy. Like I said, you can, you know, with these chalk type paints that we all love so much right now, they're really, really porous. So if you put something on top of them, even if it's a glaze, which is meant to be glazy and kind of, you know, move around, it's going to absorb right into it. So you need to have some sort of a slip coat. And that's really what clear base does. The other product that we love to use for this same type of an effect is Scumble. So that's another product that we carry on the website. Why did I choose to use clear base today? Well, I kind of like to stay within product lines. So I'm using clear base because I'm also using the General Finishes glaze effects on here. So I kind of want to stay within product lines. Now, if I were using a different Jolie paint color, then I probably would have used Stumble to basically thin that out and create a glaze with the actual paint color. So that's my decision. Could I have used Stumble with the General Finishes? I could have. So if you have that product at home and you want to do the same effect, you can absolutely do it with the Van Dyke Brown for sure. So I'm just kind of going over this a little bit more. I'm dipping into my clear base, a little bit into my Van Dyke Brown, and kind of going over this, creating some wood graining type strokes. I could also use a wood graining tool to make this even more so like a wood grain type of a finish. But here we go, folks. How easy peasy was that? I mean, I'm not even sweating. There's no sweat. Super, super easy. So if you want to create these gorgeous, raw, natural looking wood finishes, this is the way to go. If you're starting with like a really dark wood and you're dreading having to strip it and sand it, go this route. It's so much easier. You can absolutely be an artist, I promise. So thanks for watching. We will definitely show you guys an after picture. I know we don't always do that, but 2021 is a new year, and we are going to make sure that we get you guys the full after view of this amazing headboard. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Want to learn more? Subscribe now.